They know that there's more jobs. You know, it's just the start of something special potentially. As we have gone in, and I like to say that we have had some waves ridden early on doors in this round. Well, let's talk for this wave, Nolan. You're the man. You know him better than most. What's
wow,
he do here?
This is just him doing his normal surfing at home. Like, this looks like Carter free for him. Laying in his rail. He switched his board for this one as well. He was riding an epoxy. So now he's back on the poly looking smooth. Wow, he's really looking good. He's confident first wave, and he just needs to finish this one up to get himself a good first wave. Wow. Love it when your best friend gets a good wave like that.
Oh, well, that's a 9.57.
Oh, my
the
God.
highest wave, individual wave of the whole event. And Chico, I said before that Jake is kind of going under the radar a little bit in terms of his surfing. He's getting the job done, but that's more than getting the job done. That's a statement wave right there.
Yeah, and I think that shift between the epoxy and the PU now makes all the difference. There's more push in the swell, and his surfing is looking beautiful on that board. Great transitions and no pumping around maneuvers, and he finished it off really well. So 9.57 for this one, and well-deserved score. But this turn was just seamless transitions. The carving there, really tight in the pocket, putting a lot of effort into that turn, and wow, just connecting all the dots so easily and showing fins everywhere. So Nolan, what a great start for JK.
I don't think you could have asked for a better wave to start the heat. I mean, even if he starts off with a bad series of events, like, he really can always come back.
Yeah, so this is Jake. It's really hard. He knows his opponent's got a 9.57 his locker. He wants to get a win. That's his goal, and I'll tell you what, he's getting closer and closer, isn't he?
You really can't sleep on Jake, man. Like, I've seen him compete out here before. He's really good out here.
Yeah, not with waves like this, though, potentially. J.Marshall up again, so nice little lip line floater. Comes around the corner. A nice rail carve, as he said. Nolan, that board looks great, and he's still got juice down here. Trying to back up a relatively small wave at 2.5, and here he goes again. Just got a section, another big long floater. He's got no jitters in between turns and a big strong finish, so he's just in the zone. He's picking the right waves, and he's crucially known he's picking the right turns at the right time, and he's just nailing it.
Yeah, I think he's ready to go today.
Yeah, I feel like what you mentioned early on this heat about the board, you see all those bumps and lubs seem to not affect him too much right now, and it seems like he's connecting really well in between maneuvers. Right now we see the float, and he gets around it with a lot of bumps and lubs, but he managed to do a clean line for that last one. So maybe the change of the board being a good choice.
For sure, yeah. So Gally was him and Gally were watching Dimitri's heat, and Dimitri was ripping on his poly, and they noticed that how there was like a little bump, especially with the high tide. Like, this might not be so good with the swell rising as well. Like, the epoxy is not looking so good. And then Jackson was out there against Mateus, which he ripped. I thought that, some of the scores could have came in a little higher, but you could tell that the epoxy, like, it was getting stuck a little bit. He wasn't able to round his turns as much. And you can see Jake here, like, really getting to push harder, which Gally was mentioning to him. Like,
And here he goes, live action. So he's back again, just flowing the fins out on that one. And there's another little hack in the pocket. So he's starting to get a little bit loose in the juice. And a rail carve there. His waves, he's just picking up really steep. And not a bigger wave.
Get more vertical on the wave. And this one from Jake looked really good from the start. That slide of the fins to start, really tight in the pocket carve. And then he just built all the way through. So he managed to actually get rid of the 5.67 and get a 6.33 on this one, Ben.
Yeah, and Jacob, he got a 6.33, so a smaller wave, but his manufacturing scores, Nolan, which is, that's what you've got to do in this situation.
Definitely build the house, Jake. He's got to do that. I would like for him. He's got priority now, so, I mean, he's sitting in a good position. Definitely interested to see where Jacob's wave comes in. And, just start playing defense here probably. Jacob needs to start going big.
That was a sick turn, wasn't it? That drift off the coping, like a skateboard-style maneuver. And he just comes around, and this is a 6.33. Just throwing very okay. Jake up on his backhand. Willcox, bit bigger wave. See that rangy style? And now we start throwing some spray. So he's trying to get himself back in the heat. And there's a big carve as well. So more vertical, real different approach. Gets it up a little bit bumpy, but he's dealing with it so well. And that Darren Hanley board looks sweet under his feet as well. There's another big turn. So Willcox fighting back, and there's another. And he's going to go again, you'd imagine. and try and get a finish, and he does. So Marshall now is back. He had a pretty good run. This wave, Chico, he's back in the game, right?
I like the pace of this wave. He caught one of those that have the right pace to surf on your backside. It can really allow him to go off the bottom, off the top, all the way through the inside section. And this one, he had to cut it a bit short because he was a lot of bumps and lumps in the face. But this one, I like this one as well. A bit of an exclamation point here on the inside. And the wave just kept building, and he just throws buckets of water. And yeah, he just surfed so well that wave. Not many mistakes throughout that wave, Nolan.
Yeah, this is an exciting heat now. We needed this, you know. We wanted to see something good. Obviously, I want my boy Jake to make it, but I definitely want to see J.Willcox surf good as well, and he showed us that right there.
Yeah, his technique is so on point, and he's been doing this for quite some time. We've talked about how, you know, he's probably had 6-7 years doing this, and this year, talk about Jake's sort of flow state. Well, Jake has found his sort of groove. He's been more relaxed, he said, and sort of trusting the process. But and you can see why when he's, you know, he's not making mistakes as many as he used to, and with his talent and his technique, Chico, you can see why he's CT bound.
Yeah, I just love the back arm. He really adjusts the back arm when he goes up off the bottom, and he can get really vertical as you see his back arm. He's pointing like the lip of the wave, and then he torques the whole body coming back down. So he's got a really, really interesting technique.
We wanted some action. Well, we've got it now, and suddenly, with that one wave, Willcox needs a 708, and he's pulled the trigger again. So now he's in the groove, and that first turn is strong. And he comes around the section. Second, more spray. We talked about how the judges love that. Well, he's got buckets of it. Nice pace this wave again. He's not doing anything crazy. He's just sticking to his real traditional power surfing that is his strength. And then another finish, and he just is back in the game. So strong, committed surfing. And within the space of a few minutes.
This wave was really well surfed. I like this first snap off the top. And he was on the right side of the backwash. Every time he was bottom turning on the wave, the backwash was coming in after, as we see on this turn, and again on this one. So he surfed through the pace of this one. Looked good. I don't know if it's enough for a 708. But nonetheless, he's looking on point on this wave. But for that score, I think probably he needs a bit more out the back. What do you reckon, Nolan?
I think I have to agree. Like, the wave didn't allow him to have like really critical maneuvers on it, but he surfed it as good as he possibly could. I bet you the score comes in just under, but I mean, I could be wrong. He was throwing spray, and there's still time for him to get more.
And so we're going to get this opportunity here potentially for the last sort of throwdown. And that first wave of the set is sometimes a little bit tricky. It doesn't seem to be much behind it. So Marshall said, you know, I'm going to go this. And there's a nice first turn, confident, composed. Oh, and there's a big spray there as well. And there's a third. So he's just in the groove. No nerves. And then a little bit late to that one, but he comes out clean enough. And there's another jam. Trying to improve on a 6.33. And, well, the flow state that we've been talking about is looking good. So he likes it. Not a claim this time, but you can see this sort of sense of satisfaction written all over his body language there. A little grin there from his mate Noel in the booth. He likes it. Well, here he goes. He needs a 10, basically, or a 9.61. Here he goes. Last throw of dice for Willcox. Nice first turn here. He's going to need something really special. He knows that. Another second turn here. A little bit sluggish through here. He looks out the back. There's nothing coming. This is his last wave he can do. He might have to go for something really big on the inside. So far this wave hasn't given him the opportunity he wants. Here he goes. Loads up. Does an aerial and a little body surf in. That's Willcox's. So there he goes. Jake, what a performance. Two of the highest individual waves of the whole event in the one heat in the quarterfinals.